Alright, super quick update on FIDA. I'm going to try and make this fairly short. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, I'll just do a run through of the macro. So on the macro term, we are in a wham downtrend right now. We're below every single level on this fib that we want to be above. We're below the 200-day moving average. So, you know, it's basically impossible to argue that we're not in a downtrend. I don't think anyone is even trying to argue that we aren't in a downtrend because, you know, no. To be fair, I mean, there's no way you can chop this to say we're not. Even if we come down to the micro term now, I made a video yesterday on Bonfida because we did have a pretty decent pump, almost an 18% pump from yesterday, and I outlined, in my opinion, if we come down to the 4-hourly, what I said specifically is, if I can get this down a little bit and flatten this. So what I outlined is we did have this big spike like a couple of weeks ago, and I highlighted how, you know, we do need to get above this red box before I get bullish. I will show you what that is in a minute. Since then, we put in a high here, and yeah, this was what I was talking about yesterday. So we were pretty much around here yesterday, and I said, you know, bear in mind we've got this high here, we've got this high, and we've got this high, and even if we do break all of that, we have mad resistance coming up the top here. So, you know, I was basically saying how I believe it's a dead cat bounce. As you can see, this is still another lower high from this high. So even in the micro term, we are extremely bearish. We keep on putting in lower lows, and we are also putting in lower highs. So we're pretty much coming down to the last line in the sand now. I think we are probably going to start heading down. I imagine in a week's time or something, we'll have another dead cat bounce, something like this. This coin loves dead cat bounces now. If I come over to the daily, you'll see what I mean by that. I mean, we do have these massive downtrends, and, you know, we do have these big spikes before we do fall off the table. If we come back to here, this was a dead cat bounce. This was a very, very harsh dead cat bounce. This was a dead cat bounce, and then obviously if we zoom into the micro term, we've got these dead cat bounces, this one, and now we are starting to head down. So all in all, I do think Bonfida is extremely bearish in the short term. If you've been watching my videos for the past, you know, month or so, I've basically been saying I think we're going to come down to 133. Nothing has changed. That's why I'm trying to kind of keep this content for FIDA short, unless we do have like something big happen. But as a rule of thumb, nothing's happened. Macro term, we're in a very, very harsh downtrend. Micro term, I mean, very micro term, we are obviously in this downtrend, and, you know, we've obviously had this little dead cat bounce that we are still above. But as I think we've broken all market structure, there's, you know, pretty much nothing else for us to see here. We're nowhere near the 2.618 there, and obviously if we draw our fib from high to low, we've broken below the 786. So in my opinion, only place for us to go is 133. If we do have a strong bounce and this ends up being a double bottom, so be it. We would still need to get above this big red box. This big red why is that so hard to say? Big red box lines up with a bunch of levels that I've got my eyes on. A bunch of wick highs, a bunch of highs over here, but mainly the bottom of this lines up with the 618 down here, and the top of this lines up with the previous micro high at 390. Also, we've got the 236 level. I never pay attention to that. I'm always the 618 and the 786 cowboys, so, you know, I don't talk too much about these fibs, but obviously while we are below them, it is extremely bearish. Like I said, in the micro term, mid to macro term, we do need to break above this red box. If we don't break above this red box, I am just going to be bearish on this forever. So I mean, if we never break above this red box, I'm just not even going to be remotely bullish in the short term. I do think we're going to come down to 133. Whether that holds or not, we will have to decide when we do come down here. We'll see what the market structure's like. If we start breaking our head below it and start, you know, having selling volume coming in, then my next target would be all the way down here at basically $1. And, you know, there's no other levels that I can give you right now in the micro term for targets. I really wouldn't take this fib to the bank. Yeah, the 1.618 down there is pretty much your last line in the sand. So If we do lose that, you know, there's nowhere else for us to go. These levels down here are at 0, so in my opinion we would be trending down to somewhere like 0. So that is all I've got for you for FIDA today. If you are a FIDA fan, I would be keeping my eyes on 133. If we lose that, then things are going to get very, very ugly in the short term, in my opinion. So that's all I see for FIDA. Best of luck to you if you are in this. Once again, none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Peace.